Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we will be discussing Dear Martin, chapter 22 to chapter 24. And quick introduction to our new rules. The questioner is Nas. The vocabulary enricher is Bella. The connector is Ayat. The passage selector is Aina, and the summarizer is me. So let us start with which role I would choose. Hmm. Okay, vocabulary enricher, please.
Okay, thank you so much, guys. Can you move aside? Thank you. So, we are going to start with chapter 22, right? Let's go to page 145. Okay, let us watch the stream that Ayat is streaming. Okay, so chapter 22 on page 145. At the last three paragraph, we have the word detrimental. Yes, that one. Detrimental. So what is detrimental mean? Detrimental means harmful. So in these sentences, we know that, okay, he reads, above certain levels, noise or noise disturbance is harmful to the health and welfare of the citizenry. So that's mean it is disturbing, harmful for the public. Okay, understand? Okay, next we go to page 148, which is from the article. The jury is still out. So page 148. On the second paragraph, we see the word deliberation after 27 hours of deliberation. So deliberation is consideration. So that's mean after lots of consideration, they came with a conclusion. So that's what deliberation means. Okay, understood? Is there any question regarding the vocabulary? No.
No.
Okay, let's move on with what do you guys want? Let us hear some question.
Thank you. Hello, do you hear me? Hello?
Yes, very clear.
Hello, hello? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear very clearly.
Sorry. Okay. So my question for this chapter is so from your perspective, to what extent do you see that actually that the judicial system is fair towards different races, as you can see in this chapter? Hmm.
So
Anyone care to answer?
are you listening about the judicial system in US?
Yes, I think so.
Oh, all right.
Because we are talking about the chapter, right? Yeah, yeah. So, mm-hmm.
Let me process.
It's okay, take your time. Siapa gol ni? Oh, okay.
Okay,
Oh,
so
sorry.
the last question. To what extent do you see that the judicial system is fair towards different races? In my opinion, it is actually fair because they are not stating any like if, for example, let me be vague for a moment. For example, if African American people kill someone, the two will be heavier, blah blah blah. It didn't state anything like straightforward like that. But when it comes to the judgment of the jury, that's where the racism came. So if you include the jury in the judicial system, I mean, judicial system, people usually talk about law enactment, things like that that were written, but if not including people, I mean jury. So if you're talking about like that, judicial system is cannot say it's not fair because they are being trained. This jury is being trained for years, so they are being rational when they are trying to when they're listening to the victim and the one in the wrong. Okay, for example, when I read chapter 22, I mean when the justice were being questioned by that one the other lawyer, even if I were to be the jury, I would be like, I can see that why the police shot justice. They are so I don't think it is not fair.
Actually, I quite agree with Ayat because the jury will try their best to be fair because there are so many witnesses seeing his decisions. But I think the one who is being questioned, they must be righteous so that a fair judgment could be made out. So it all depends on the people who are getting questions. They must be truthful.
Okay, thank you to Ayat and Aina. Actually, I don't know how to say actually. So um, maybe that's all. Or do you have any other explanation, Bella or Ansa? Okay. About this judicial system, I think it's actually fair. Yeah, I see it's fair actually too. But because of maybe as you can see, actually I'm looking at some other chapters behind where some of it have like we have talked about there are some cases where involving white men and the punishment that is achieved is not the same. They're as bad as what that man said scared. So I say that if we take a look at this chapter, actually it is righteous lah. This decision, as you can see that Tyson is judged with death sentence, right? Like I think like that. Yeah.
I agree with all of
Okay.
you.
Wow. Great answer. Okay. Okay. Can continue to. Okay. We can
So
continue to passage.
sure, sure. Actually, I found an interesting passage in the page one, which is in the first page of chapter 22, which is um, you could see ayat streaming, the first paragraph in chapter 22 actually. Okay, so at this point, we could really see that justice is so like he's feeling so low at this moment because he met in this paragraph the author mentions that just wishes he could go back to the days when all he had to worry about was his mama not liking his girlfriend. So we could see that there were so many things happening to a boy who's just 17-year old. And just imagine if we are in his shoes, we would be so um it will be so like so terrible, right, for us. Like we should be enjoying our life. Then suddenly many things is happening around us. So I think this sentence really made us feel how justice is feeling. So yeah, I got this chapter. I found this chapter interesting. This paragraph. You guys want to comment anything about this paragraph?
I feel the same way actually. It gives the reader the feeling of the connection with justice, especially because normal teenagers would have normal life, but justice is extraordinary one because like in the chapter before it mentioned that he have this problem, he have that problem, and all of that. That's why it gives some connection to the reader.
Okay, so I think we should move to the connector, right?
Okay, so I'll try my best to connect this chapter with our real life, and I believe we all actually have been in justice situation in one part of our life. Only it is not as bad as justice. Okay. I believe in your secondary school in your primary school, like everyone have their moment when they are actually just playing with their friends or just enjoying themselves doing something reckless. But then that something reckless that is just for fun turned into something really bad that you guys can't control it anymore. Just like justice and many, they are just listening to loud songs, to loud music in car, but then suddenly, bam, one of them died. And then Justice suddenly found himself standing in the court for over some loud music. Do you guys have ever been in that situation where you're just being reckless for 1 second and then the whole thing turned into like the table is turning and you can't control anything anymore? Have you guys been in that situation before? Okay, never mind. I'll give you guys some time to think while I share my story where my me and my classmates are just want to have some fun, but then everything suddenly turned out like we can't control it anymore. It happened in my form 3 where I know all schools after the PE physical education you guys need to change your clothes, right, back to your school uniform. But then usually we are seniors, right, form 3 we are big already, so we found ourselves like it's okay, so we don't want to change. So we go against the rules because we are lazy, just lazy to change the our PE. But then it is usually PE is before recess. So after recess, when we are out of the lab, suddenly the HEP, our school block is kind of like a block. So if you stand in the middle of the dataran, you can see all the keliling of the dataran. Okay, so suddenly the HCP is standing there and they saw us wearing PE. And then she screamed, the whole block can hear. She screamed, siapa pakai baju PE tu turun sekarang? And then our class, we are at the corridor. All of us ran to the stairs like we are like being like a rat, and then we went we hide in the toilet and all that because we are from lab on the way to our class. We are just being lazy from not changing our PE. And then because no one came down, our whole class were hiding in toilet, in the stairs where the HCP can see us. Then she shout, siapa yang pakai baju PE tu nanti jumpa saya dalam bilik JDM. And then the whole class were like being really shocked because like I guess she was mad because no one came down. She was just asking for us to come down because I guess she was just want to marah biasa-biasa, but then no one came down and everyone is running from her. But then after the class we go met her, but it's nothing serious actually, but after she shot at us we really can't focus in class because all of us are so nervous. So, but after that, she just said that she was angry because no one actually come down when she shout at us, and the whole even the staff room can hear she shout at us. So it's kind of embarrassing because the main cause is we are just being reckless. Okay, so it's not as serious as justice, but it is and just an example where we can't control something. It came out of hand just because of our recklessness. So my advice to you guys is think before you do anything. Just follow the rules. Like Justice and Many, just if they just follow what the police say to turn the music down, all of this will not happen, right? Okay, so do you guys have any of experience like Justice?
I think I have almost same experience, like almost the same as you. Uh, like Oh, no, a different one. But the story is almost same, and the character involved is also involving HEP teacher. And I don't think I am wrong in that situation actually. But for some reason, he want to accuse me of doing something wrong, and I broke the rule. But actually, I don't think it's a rule. Okay, uh, the story is like this. I asked a staff to get permission to use computer lab actually, and then I use it, and then after that there's what do you call perfect prefect. It's like um okay, I call it police student. Okay, they came into the computer lab, and then they caught everyone in the computer lab. And I don't know why, even though I already asked for permission, and then they took uh, all of us in the computer lab, and then they snapped the picture of us. And then after that, we got called by HEP to attend to some perhimpunan. Uh, and then it's actually like they try to what do you say, like buka aib session, and then they show us the picture, and then yes, yes, they, I don't know why, but actually I think there's actually a political problem at my school before, so I think that's the reason why I am accused of breaking the rules, but actually I don't think I'm breaking the rules.
Alright, thank you, Ansel, for sharing with us your story. So I guess that's all from your connector. I guess we can move to another part.
Now it's summarizer, right?
Yeah.
The summarizer. Who is it? Me. Okay. Chapter 22. Okay. Just is currently taking the stand during Garrett Tyson's trial. And Garrett Tyson is accused for murder, right? Okay. The district attorney has just finished questioning him. And then things are going smoothly. Everyone that just know, Mama, Dog, and the fragments are all in the gallery to support Jas. And despite this, Jas is having a hard time being so close to Tyson. And then after the district attorney finished his question, then Tyson's defense attorney stand up to question him. And then somehow, as soon as Jas sees her, Jas can tell she's out for blood, meaning she's like preparing to ask a wave of question to him. Then he ask a lot of question, and just is like at his wit's end, and he tried to find the right answer to the right question, so that he didn't uh, tell something he shouldn't tell. So after that, uh, the person who asked a lot question, uh, she wants just to read uh, at the City of Atlanta Code of Ordinance. He wants just to read it aloud. That is above certain levels, noise or noise disturbance is detrimental to the health and welfare of the citizenry and the individual's right to peaceful and quiet enjoyment. Therefore, it is hereby declared to be the policy of the city to prohibit noise disturbance from all sources. So, because of the shooting incidents, that's why she asked just to read the code of ordinance loud. So after that, um, after some question, she ends her questionnaire. And then following the chapter 22, there's a new article entitled Garrett Tyson, Murderer. Okay, the article tells us that the jury found Garrett Tyson guilty on 3 of the 4 charges. He was convicted of 2 misdemeanors, disorderly conduct and discharge of a pistol near a public highway, and aggravated assault. This means that Tyson was not convicted for felony murder. Then the jury was unable to reach a consensus regarding the felony murder charge, and a mistrial was declared. And then, so I think that's all of it about the article, about basically about murder. So that's all for chapter 2, all wrap up. So can we continue to chapter 23?
Yes, to the last chapter. Here we go.
Sure.
Okay.
So we start with some passage.
Yes.
Okay. So chapter 23 is quite interesting and it was the ending of the story, right? So many unexpected things happen. And the paragraph that I selected is in page 154. Hmm. Are you sharing the screen? Okay. Okay, it's in page 154. Okay, so the paragraph that's saying that everything went downhill from there because he put two and two together. Down some more. The everything. The paragraph that start with the word everything. Yes, oh no, oh no, you're going. It's out. Paragraph yang ada everything. Yes. That paragraph. Okay, in this paragraph, it actually describes a situation where his roommate saw SJ for the first time. And like bam, another sudden like really strong racial discrimination was there. And he was like being so judgmental because when he saw Justice is a black guy and the girlfriend actually coming up from the toilet, she's a white girl. And he's like, his face just suddenly turned around. And um, until when SJ came out from the bathroom, she actually realized. And she said that, I knew I was, as soon as the roommate left the room, SJ actually said that, uh, what what the hell is his deal? So it's like we could really see that although what's happening, still discrimination is still going on, because he looks at the relationship as something like so weird, right? Seeing a colored person and a white skinned person together. So yeah, actually from this passage, I actually realized that however wherever you go, there'll still be people influenced by some negative perception in their hearts. Yeah, so that's what I got from this paragraph.
I think that it's not that it's a negative perception. Maybe he think that it is peculiar for people attracted to different race like that. It's maybe it's jargon to him, or maybe he's just built that way, like mold same as Jared, which is doesn't yeah, what we call discriminate and being prejudiced something. But if I were encounter with this type of relationship, I would also become a bit jargon with this situation, but maybe not give the same look, just move away something. But okay, bye bye.
Yeah, for me too. Because to be honest, if usually when I was on public transport and I saw a couple with Chinese and Indian, I was like, "Uish, what would Cina? What would India?" I was like something like that. I know all of you guys were like this too, right? We are not being judgmental, straightforwardly, but we are not It is not common in our community to have interracial couple like that, right? So I guess his reaction is normal, but perhaps we can control it and try. I mean, we can learn to control it as time passes by, because it is actually sometimes hurt the people who are actually in that kind of relationship.
Oh yeah, I got you. That means like it's actually weird. Yeah, anomalies. And what? Yeah. So like, as Ayat said, it's like maybe it's weird, right, to see like in our country itself a Chinese with an Indian. So maybe we could control it by not showing our effects so obviously, right? So that we don't hurt the people. Okay. So what do you want to further next after this?
Let's continue with vocabulary.
Okay, okay, calm down, guys. Why are you guys so eager for vocabulary? Okay, let's huh? Okay, this is the last session for vocabulary. Okay, don't be sad.
No,
So
I'm gonna.
on the first page of chapter chapter 100, chapter 23, which is page 149. On the first paragraph, we can see that the word verdict. So I don't know what verdict means. So verdict means finding or solution. So in this passage, 2 full days and the words unable to reach a verdict and mistrial. So that's mean it couldn't find its finding and conclusion to this what we call trial, because yeah, we know that Garrett Tyson died. So this thing bothered Just. And then let's move on to another vocab, which is on page 143, which means altercation. Oh, it's on the paragraph. Okay, it's on dialogue 9. The paragraph said, okay, I rephrase. He says, you were involved in a similar altercation on the night of January 18, correct? So altercation means big fight. Like it doesn't complement, right? The word altercation, big fight. Okay, but altercation means big fight. And okay, that's all. Do you guys have any question regarding vocab? No.
This is epilogue, right? In the 4 months later. Right.
Oh yeah. Epilogue. Where? What?
I mean like the 4 months later. 4 months later.
Oh. Yeah. Oh. 4 months later is epilogue, not chapter 23. Nah, we just combine it. Never mind. Okay. Let's move on to what? Okay, let's hear some connection.
Hi, thank you, Bella, for choosing me. Okay, so in this chapter, there are some kind about Justice met his new roommate, right? I don't remember the guy's name. I guess something Roosevelt. Okay, so let me just call him. Okay, so this Roosevelt guy, am I right? Roosevelt, right? Okay, so this Roosevelt, right? He's some kind of like racism after appearance where he judge justice by looking him up and down. Okay, so what I'm trying to connect here is I guess this actually happened in real life where we met with a person who we can see that he is judging us even before they are talking to us. For example, when you met him, they are looking at you with some kind of weird way, and then uh, they look at you from top to the bottom, like judging you, like he's not the type of that I mingle with, so I should stay away from them. That kind of look when they look at us. So I don't really have experience regarding this kind of situation because I usually stay quiet with people who are with us, and my ex-roommate, all of my ex-roommate, when I first met them, alhamdulillah, all of them are good people. And alhamdulillah, in my school, there are not really so much of racism case. And on top of that, I am one of the majority society. So perhaps it didn't happen to me. But have you guys ever experienced this kind of situation where you guys being judged on your first look? Because one thing I guess we can use the saying, as the saying goes, first impression lasts long, right? Some something like that. So have you guys been affected by your first impression? I mean, your relationship with that person is affected due to their first impression toward you guys. Wait, I'm sorry, my words is kind of um berbelit. Okay, let me rephrase my
No.
question.
It's okay. We are just trying to rewind our long
Okay,
lost memory.
Everyone else, please share.
okay, so okay, I guess all of us, since we are majority races in our own community, so we kind of like we never experience this kind of discrimination because we live among Malays, we live among orang Melayu, and we are orang Melayu. So I guess it really happened to us. But then what I'm trying to say is don't base your judgment on your first impression to other people before you actually know them. Please don't put anything like dia ni sombong lah, dia ni blah blah blah. Don't put things like that before you know them. Just keep your minds open and try to know someone deeper and decide it afterwards. If they are really bad, then you guys can okay just go on. And I mean I'm not asking you guys to be judgmental, but I mean try to control your first impression. Don't just don't just label someone based on their skin color. Try to get to know their heart instead of their skin color. Okay, that's all from me.
Okay, that's a good connection from Ayat, which is
Can
very. Huh?
I
What? My. Okay. Actually, there is a story about this because okay, I'm from girls' school, right? So girls' school discrimination, mental discrimination, is very what? It's not widespread, right? What do we call it? It's very high, something like that. So I was a second intake student. So for sure, everyone already know each other at the moment. So it's not that I was alone, but in my what do we call in my dorm, I was the only person. This is like okay, the other person they have their own business. Like he's really busy, but I'm the only person in that class. So yeah, when I go to that class, I was the only one from that dorm, so no one knows me. But the thing is, the people in my dorm is like people who is influential. So yeah, at first like people don't befriend me, but when they know that I befriend them, so they befriend me too, like that, you know. So yeah, it's quite prejudice, you know. But yeah, they befriend me because I'm nice and I'm good. Yeah, I'm very nice person. Thank you. Why are you laughing, Nas? Answer. Answer, Nas lah.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Okay. Nas, do you have any story? You kept meeting and unmeeting.
Are you ready to share some question with us? Nat? Okay, for asking this question because I really want to talk about this quote for a really long time about be yourself thing. Okay, so I guess this quote actually didn't apply for everyone because okay, let me give you an example. If your own self, you know your own self is someone violent, is someone judgmental, would you be your own self? Would you be yourself? Okay, so in this situation, I want to say be yourself if you know you are good. If you know that be yourself doesn't suit you and your community, why don't you try to be like other person? I mean, they say don't try to imitate other person. Okay, we are not trying to imitate other person, but we are trying to be like them because we are changing ourselves. So what I want to say here, be yourself is a term that didn't apply for everyone. I know, like we usually read novel, everything like in the end, it all like all of it came back to yourself, something like that, blah blah blah, be yourself. But then this is based on my own experience. I have to say, if I were to be my own self, I will be the procrastinator my whole life. It is because I am trying to imitate my classmate who is a really good person. They do their homework really fast. I'm becoming a better person. Yeah, I am becoming a better person by changing myself, which is still my own self. But I'm not holding to that quote, be yourself. I am just, do you guys understand what I mean? I mean, it is up to you. You know your own self. If you think that be yourself is not good enough, try to be someone else. As long as it is good for your own self and for other people around you. I'm not saying like you need to prioritize other people instead of yourself because you are trying to be good for your community. But then I believe that if we are trying to be good for other people, what you give you get back, right? So in some ways we will get what we are trying to be good to other people. Okay, so that's all from me.
So okay, just now we have some technical difficulties. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. Continuing the discussion just now, we are talking um about being ourselves. Is it can it actually reduce racism? I think I'm with Ayat. I think, but not too full lah. Because yeah, maybe there are some people that if they are being themselves, they are actually not very good. Like Ayat just said just now, being procrastinate, or maybe someone when he is being like himself, he's actually when he is being himself is actually a gangster and a bad person. So maybe just I think that what Doc is actually saying maybe is like be yourself is like be like how be yourself, but take the good things only. I think because the good things are the one that people actually want to say. I think that Doc actually want to say about the good things only. Don't know what to say. Let's say that.
Okay, can
Do
I
you
add
have anything
something?
to add, Bella? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I came across a quote that was at the wall. Okay. They said that be the best version of you in this world. That's what people want to see. That's what you want to be. You know, be the best version of you. So get rid of the negative attitude and yeah. always improve yourself, and like what you said, just being yourself will help avoid discrimination and whatsoever. Yes, everyone need to be the best version of them for the sake of people and for the sake of ourselves. Like for example, for the white Americans, they should be rational and open-minded, and for us, we need to be bold and stand for ourselves. Like don't just live in a nutshell and play pretend, like be blind by the issue revolving around yourself. Like it's been happening for generation. You just need to step out and try to stand for justice. That's what justice doing, right?
Okay, so I believe after what I heard was Bella said, I believe the correct word was not be yourself, but be the best version of yourself. Thank you, Bella.
I think about being yourself is also a thing too. Yeah, be the best of yourself is the correct one. I think being yourself is like because we know that actually every human is actually every, every human is actually a good person. It's the natural being of a human to be a good person, but maybe there are like factors around themselves. So actually, being yourself is actually quite true. There are still some good things that we have in our, even though if you are a gangster or actually a mafia person, actually there are some good parts in yourself. Yeah. Okay. I think that's all. Second question. Since this is the last discussion, right? So we can add two more question lah. Okay. So the last question is okay. This one is I don't know. This is what I think. As we all know, Jared visits Manny's grave in this chapter, right? In the last part. So, okay, imagine if actually Manny is still alive and there were no shooting happen. So, with your knowledge about the past chapters, do you think that actually Jared will still be friend with Manny? Yeah. Hmm. What do you think? What do you think?
Sorry, but your question is, will Jared still different with Mandy?
Jared. Yeah, because if you take a look back at chapters before that, when Manny actually like I don't know, I don't remember. Assault I think he like punch Jared. Manny punch Jared at that part. And his father is actually trying to make a like what you call it? Judgmental thing Okay. So okay, if yeah, imagine that if actually no shooting happen and Jared is still alive. So maybe that his father is making that thing. Do you think that still Jared will still be friend with Manny? As you can see in this last chapter, you can see that actually Jared is very he loved his friend. Actually, he loved Manny and he lost him. He feel like it's very sad. I don't know. This question is like quite weird. Tapi you can try.
Yeah, I think this question is quite interesting actually because we never thought of that, right? And I think the part where Manny and Jared did not have a good relationship because when everything is so bad for justice, the reason something added to this situation is that Jared uploaded a picture of them wearing costumes and that went viral, right? So that's when their relationship became messed up. So I think if Manny is still alive, I personally think that their relationship would be still not so good because um, some people like Jared, they would change because of a seriously big impact. So when there is no any big impact coming yet, they will still be holding on to what they have known, and they wouldn't change if something serious did not happen. So I think so. If there is no any, if Manny did not die, Jared would still maintain a messed up relationship between them.
Yeah, I quite agree with Aina because I believe there's a saying goes, you only realize you love something when you lose it. So I believe if I can say if many did not initiate, if many did not try to amend their friendship back, I don't think Jared will take the initiative to amend it because his father is already trying to sue many, right? So after that incident, do you think if your father is trying to sue your friend, do you think you will ask for their forgiveness? Because your father already sued them. I mean, it's kind of messed up, right? So I don't think he will try to get back in their friendship because it's kind of a big fight between them. So yeah, it's because Manny actually died that Jared realized how good of a friend Manny is.
I think Ansa can add something. Ansa, are you there?
Yes. I think not only the punching and the incident that was Jared and Manny still remain friend. I think everything that happened to Justice and Manny actually make Jared and Manny currently they are about the shooting, about they like fighting, all of that. And if things like that didn't happen, I think Jared and Manny I think still remain friend, but not that close like that.
Okay, and that's some good explanation. Yeah, I think I'm with all of you because yeah, when we like I said when we lose someone, that is the time where we actually care about him. Like me when I lose my friend. Okay, okay, I think that's
Yes,
all. We can conclude this. Can conclude this final chapter.
Can I add something?
Answer. Oh, do you want to add?
Yeah, after what
Okay,
Ansari
okay, go.
said, I think that yeah, Jared just shows that how types of friend he is towards Manny during their hardship moment, which is we know that Justice is having a hard times and Manny is of course absolutely is by his side. So Jared, as a friend of Manny, which is trying to help his other friend, should have helped him as the friend that he should be, a good friend. So this shows that their friendship is quite it's not unhealthy or something, but um so back to the initial question, which is do they befriend after that if this incident that happened. I think okay, they are in their hot blood moment, so parents are shaking their mind, and parents are the one that is not responsible but will taught them okay suing um what do we call it, they have it's not that their relationship are not 100% by their own decision because their parents are influencing them. So it's probably that Jared is not befriending Manny anymore. Okay, that's what is my opinion.
Okay. I think that's all. Or do you guys have anything to add? No.
actually I want to add
Okay.
a
Oh,
little
you want
bit,
to add more?
just a little bit. Okay,
It's like
so
everyone liking this question, huh?
yes, so after Manny's death, it's like Jared being like he start to realize something. So why is that happen? Because okay, I give you a situation. When you are healthy, do you think about you guys getting fever? Of course not, right? But once you got the fever, now you start to remember, or when I was healthy, I was very happy. It's like that. That's the same situation that Jared currently in, because human are like that. Uh, when we have good things in our life, we didn't notice, and then we didn't that we are not being grateful. But once problem came, then we start to realize what uh we should be grateful of. So I think that's all. Okay, let's continue to summary. Okay, what's the number of this chapter again? Chapter 23, right? Okay, in chapter 23, Just and SJ are hanging out in SJ's basement. They watching NGO. Not NGO, National Geographic. Ah, okay, sorry. Wrong acronym. It is 2 days after the trial. Both SJ and Just are caught up in thoughts about the trial and frustration. The fact that the jury could not reach a decision regarding the murder charge. Then after that, Just reveals that in 2 weeks he and SJ are taking a road trip to Yale to move Just into a college. Then they're going to New York City so SJ can get settled at Columbia. But Just is frustrated. He frustrated that he will have to return back to Atlanta at some point in the next 6 months for the retrial and relive his trauma all over again. Okay. So after chapter 23, we get a transcript from the morning news. Okay. The news segment said that the newscaster informed the public that Garrett Tyson was found dead inside his cell at the Clark County Jail. The news segment also informs us that 3 men have been implicated in Tyson's murder, 2 of whom were already awaiting trial for murder charge. Tyson's attorney makes a statement to the police in which she alleges that Tyson had called her scared about his safety and that the guards at the jail refused to isolate him from the other inmates. And then after the new transcript, just write again a letter to Martin. So in the letter, he tells Martin that he has moved to college. Then SJ put up a picture of Dr. King over Just's desk. It was a going away gift from Doc, and he admits to Martin that he feels uncomfortable at Yale, and he wonders what he was trying to achieve with his Be Like Martin project. So after the 4 months later, just visiting Manny's grave. And then he is back home for winter break, and it is Christmas Day. And he sees Jared standing above the grave and greets him. And Jared tells Just that he misses Manny very much. And Just tells him he knows how he feels. They talk a little about BL, and then Just tell Jared that he should join him the next time he goes to New York City to visit SJ. Jared said he would like that, and they share a moment of peace. So that's all for chapter 23 of Geography.
Yeah, it's a wrap. Congratulations, guys.
Said you never, why you ever lied to me, baby, lie to me.
Everything is wrapped up.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Thank So you have finished this novel. Do you guys want to give any ratings? I will give 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I would also give 10 out of 10 actually.
No, no, I think 100 over 10. I think that the story is very great actually because it's like quite unique. You know, like even though it is like
Yes,
talking about racism, right? But I think it is unique. Yeah.
yes, because normally fiction stories wouldn't have this kind of theme, but at least this novel uh like he got this novel got New York Times bestseller, right? So I think that's why this is one of the best novel, I think.
I also think I would give 10 out of 10. But I think the ending was quite sad because Justice still must go through all this again the next day. So how nice it would be if the novel ended with and they live happily ever after. So it would be very nice, right? But yeah, this is a novel about reality.
Okay,
Yeah,
so to be honest, um, do you want to say something else? Okay, thank you. Okay, to be honest, I kind of dissatisfied when Garrett Thiessen suddenly died in his during his jail because we didn't get to know what actually you know what kind of the real ending in the judiciary in the court, because I want to know actually the system during the judiciary system during this case is actually on the white side. I'm on the white the American people or African American people, because it's kind of like hanging there whether we know um Gary Thiessen actually get the punishment he deserve, or he actually he actually get past the trial because of his skin color. We didn't know that, so I guess it will be more satisfying if the writer make it so that we know what actually happens to Garrett Thiessen.
yeah, Bella, do you have anything?
Okay, actually I think that the ending is quite beautiful because we know that Jared already he been through an eye opening what we call chapter of life, okay, like that. And then yeah, he be friend with Justice. But you guys know that this story have its sequel, right? So that's why it doesn't end here. So do read the Justice after this, okay? Okay, before this I do read young adult story too, like somehow this type of story, okay. Actually if we read another young adult which is actually all of them are quite eye-opening thing because we are exposed to outside world, like drugs and all those things. Like for example in Malaysia we are not exposed to racism issue because majority of us are Malaysian, and we are quite open with other people. Like if there is tourists, if there is African American, we are very excited to greet them because we feel like this is some peculiar thing to experience and we want to befriend them. But in other countries we didn't know that this is an issue. So I think reading books is actually a good thing, like what we do right now. Instead of reading fiction or something that is common, we read something about racial issue. So I feel like this is a 10/10 experience for me to discuss this with all of you guys. Very interesting people with interesting opinion.
Yeah, Bella, I'm also happy to discuss about these issues with you. But actually, I kind of disagree when you say that racism is not a big issue in our country, because it's just that we didn't experience it. I believe racism is actually an issue. It happens in all country um, with what called with multiple multiple race multi-race
Multiracial.
yeah multiracial. Okay, because you know racism is like a boiling issue. It just waiting its moment to spill out of the pot, because as you can see in our even our minister, prime minister, all of them are trying to fight for their own race. And even when we are getting our scholarship, I still remember during our SPM, this one Chinese boy are saying that the scholarship also racist because they are just choosing Malays, and things like Mara, we are prioritizing Malay. Actually, racism is actually also a big issue in our country. So that's why we shouldn't take. I believe this is why Miss Nas is trying to instill in us, because since we are going outside of our country, inshallah, um, she wants us to be open minded when we are facing other race, especially African American, where it is really rare among us. We have Indian, we have Chinese, but still we are among us. I believe all of us are from MRSM, from SBP, where most of people around us are Malay. We are not really we are not really mingle with other races. So yeah, just like Bella, reading this book is kind of like an eye opening for me that I really should try to be not to be so oblivious to other races, because I've been living among my races, just my races, for my whole life.
Yeah, I agree with but um what is that? I don't remember just now. um I have lost my point. Okay, I think that this book is oh no, I lost my point. Okay. Continue with others. Sorry.
Any person who sit beside Nas, please don't disturb Nas.
So do you guys have anything to add?
Okay, about the racism thing. Okay, I remember just now. Okay. Yeah, I agree with what Ayat said. Actually in Malay that in Malaysia we have racism occurring in our place, like the Chinese and the Indians not getting scholarship and so on. I think there is also like this racial things on skin color actually, because if you talk about the Indians, mostly of the Indians, like you know, right, their color. I don't want to say. Okay. Because of their skin color, then you know that
Nas,
some
you
of
are
Malaysians. What? Actually,
you
I
are
feel it myself too. Okay, we talk about black people and white people. I think it's not as crucial as in the America where they think that black people are being extremists and other that. But still, they still look down towards the black people. Like the black people are weak, black people are idiots, like that. So yeah, it kind of racist things too. Okay, continue with others. Okay.
I quite agree with Nas because if we look at statistics, Malaysia is actually a country where it really have high racism issues, and like I've seen certain YouTubers, they actually like if we go spread our sources, we could really see there are actually many people voicing out their racial issues, the YouTuber I saw, she actually used her platform to voice out like she's an Indian, and she was actually mentioning like since small how she actually suffered from these racial things. Maybe for us it may look common, but we don't know how is it by the victim side. So yeah, I think as we living in Malaysia, we should realize these things are actually happening, and we should try to support them too.
Okay, I'm sorry if my word was controversial just now. Okay. Um,
No, no, no.
actually,
Because
yeah, yeah.
I also just realized that.
no, Bella, it's not a controversial. This is discussion.
Okay, actually,
Yeah,
I did EE
don't
on
worry.
racial
This is
issue. Okay,
oh
for the
EE
last part of my EE, okay, of course, I'm going to relate with our Malaysian situation. So, in Malaysian, our racial form is in a verbal form. So, for example, when we were kid, usually okay, this is quite offensive, but Malaysian Malay parents will usually scare their children by using Indian men trying to chase them or something, like trying to scare them. Or another thing is like what do we call if Chinese, I think it's about their eye shape, which is quite sepet. What do you call it's quite squinted. So this is the type of verbal racism that in Malaysian that is happening. We don't it's not like we discriminating them by judging. It's just that we are mold by our verbal language, by our way of saying and expressing our opinion. Usually like just blurbing something racist actually. So yeah, Anything to add?
Okay, so I'm not trying to um sorry Bella, I'm not trying to making something controversial here, but actually it did happen physical abuse towards racism. I don't know. I don't have any example to give here since I am the majority community. I mean the majority races. But there's a film made by I don't remember his name, and the title is I'm sorry for cursing, but the title is Babi, but it is not streamed in Malay. I believe okay. So since you guys are nodding, I guess you guys have heard of this, right? So it's actually showing the physical abuse type of racism. I'm not encouraging you guys to watch it, but if you guys want to see what actually happens in government school, what actually happens in our community, because I've read somewhere it is based on true story. You guys can go watch it, and after that, you actually can decide whether racism in our country is actually serious or not. Okay, that's all.
Have you watched it?
No, I don't know where to watch it, but I really want to watch it because
Oh,
it's not being streamed in Malaysia, right? So I'm trying to use VPN or another platform to find it. But it's a new movie, so there are not many platforms. They don't really show it in many pirated websites. So
Is it the
okay.
legend version? No.
So legend version,
No.
sorry, but what was your question?
Oh, it's not the legend book. You know, legend
legend
apa
book.
tu? You know, the publisher is Legend. Lejan. You
Oh,
know?
I know that legend book, but
Yeah,
I don't.
that's why I was nodding. So it's not.
No, 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 no.
Sorry.
The producer is
The
I don't
You know
producer
the
remember.
story.
It is Chinese.
is Chinese, yeah.
Jap,
Chinese.
where do we
I don't
watch it?
remember
Because it's Malaysian story.
where. In
It's
Malaysia there is no.
Yes, it is produced in Malaysia because the producer is Malaysian, but then Malaysia banned it because it is so controversial. They are
Ah,
lighting out all the racism issue.
The politics.
Only Taiwan and Thailand. I guess Indonesia too. I'm not sure, but even it is produced in our country didn't allow it to be published in our country because it is so controversial. Even the
terrible.
yeah, even some of minister, I'm not sure, some of the belia try to
Oh,
sue the producer. Yeah. You guys try to search it. The title is Babi.
Yeah.
okay. Do you guys think that this movie should be banned in our country?
What?
Do you
Oh,
guys think that
the
this
movie
movie
is
should be
bad.
banned? Yeah.
No, actually I don't think it is because the movie is actually okay, the first is the title. It is inappropriate first. Okay. And then when you see at the poster, it like telling to in the poster it wrote like the tile of the tandas toilet. Okay. The tile of the toilet. Okay. At the poster it wrote like many racial things about the Malaysians, Indians, Chinese, both the three have and the racism thing. So because when the political people when first look, they think that it is like racism thing, they ban it. Actually, I don't think that the movie is actually should be banned, but people don't like to have a change. People, you know, people have
But
power.
yeah, I agree with that. But actually, this movie also like instead of making movie that could cause controversial like this, maybe perhaps they could come out with a movie that actually show all the people from different races are actually loving each other. So do you get me? So instead of
Oh,
they get influenced by seeing these negative sides, they might get influenced by the positive sides.
yeah, I
So yeah, I think
understand.
yeah, there are pros
There are
and
some
cons.
things like you can see that this novel is actually showing negative sides of racism, right? I think that it is actually still necessary for showing negative sides of racism. Yeah,
Yeah, people don't like to accept the dark truth,
yeah,
the sad truth,
yeah.
the good truth, the one that what do we call it?
The
The
fake
yeah, the
truth.
facade.
But to be
Okay.
honest, in my opinion, to some extent, it should be banned because it's kind of instilling some kind of perception to every races, like Melayu pembuli, orang in China gila kuasa, things like that. They are instilling in our mind without we realizing it. Imagine some kind of kid, even though they put like 17 above person, like in the age range, right? But I believe people age below it will also watch it. So I kind of think for kids that can think really well, it's kind of instilling some kind of bad perception towards the other races.
Okay, so we just leave it here now. Okay. We
Okay.
are talking about novel now. So okay.
Bottom
So
line,
we have finished our reflection, right? Okay. Or do you have anything to reflect from the novel? I think that yeah, I think the most important part is about racism,
yeah, do
and I will
read
rate. Do read,
Stone
do
J.
read this novel.
Martin. Do read.
Oh,
It is
100%. Wait, what do you call it? Recommendable.
Recommend.
yeah. Okay. Ansa, do you have anything to add? Aina, Bella, you don't have it. Okay. So I think it's a wrap. Thank you for hearing from the first to the last of our
You guys, great.
literature circle.
Great, you guys. It's 2 weeks, right? We discussed this thing
Yes.
or
Yeah.
more.
Okay, let's cut
Okay.
this. One, two,
Okay.
three. Okay. Cut lah, cut. Okay, you guys cut. I stop the recording.
Okay. Cut
One.
like this.
Oh, okay.
One,
Together,
one,
answer.
together
Asa.
answer.
Answer. Come on.
One, okay. One, two, three.